So I can't wait to get moving with you all. When you're ready, let's head on back to our mats. We're gonna do a little seated, like on buns, and then we're gonna try to get up onto our shins. So if you know you want something cozy for underneath your shins or your knees later, we're also going to do a good bit of kneeling lunges in the beginning. So again, I would recommend something a little cozy. Let's head on back and get started. Happy Friday, everyone. Woo, love Fridays. And we're just gonna have a fun, freeing Friday flow. So when you're ready, really softly coming down to your mat, letting your legs adjust themselves, whatever one wants to be in front of the other, lean back a little bit. And then we're gonna take a whole bunch of movements here. But first, try to lift your cheek and pull flesh out from under sits bones, or you can scooch around a little bit so you feel really grounded from your sits bones. We're gonna keep those anchored in. And establish some breath with movement, like a moving meditation. When you're ready, start to lift from the back of your ribs and the back of your ears so you're sitting up really tall. Lift your arms up and overhead in an in-breath. And then exhale, forming goalposts with each arm. Really open palms here to be receptive and energized. Take another big breath in, scooping elbows up and under to lift from the back of your shoulder blades, rising heart to sky. Exhale, close into a prayer with hands and forearms, tucking elbows to belly, eyes follow elbows. Oh, that's nice. And then rise back up, big in-breath. Exhale, clasp behind low back. Continue to try breathing in and out slowly. It doesn't matter what breath you take as long as you're breathing. Next breath, we float forward. Trying to soften elbows as we fold flat back down, and then a little bit of a curve in our back as we roll to rise. Let's try that again. Breathe in, arms overhead. Exhale, goalpost. It's okay if your breath is opposite. Whatever it is working for you. Elbows press forward, heart rises. Bring a strong prayer. Really clasp palms and forearms together, then crunch, eyes and elbows down. Rise again, clasp opposite thumb on top behind your low back. Rise through your heart. Exhale, fold flat back down and a little roll through your spine to rise. But let's add on again. Arms lift. Hold on to right wrist, tip over, gluing right sits bone in. Land left fingers and then really reach around, like a little bit of a forward back and diagonal motion. Back to center on an in-breath. Hold left wrist, reach some more. Right hand falls when you're ready for support and a little wave around the corner. All right, let's put it all together. Breathe in, arms up. Exhale, goalpost. Maybe this exhalation helps us scoot up. Closing palms and elbows, tuck in tight. If you want a little rock and roll here to open up your low back, that can be really nice. Arms rise, clasping behind low back, hands or elbows, soft elbows, folding with a flat back. Rolling to rise. Let's switch sides here. Arms lift. Holding left wrist, tip as far as you can with this hold. Then land and reach again. A little wave if that feels great on your low back. Inhale, lift. Holding on to right wrist. Come on over. Keep pulling. Land when you're ready and get a little roll through the low back here. Inhale, rise, lift both arms all the way to the sky, but then lean back and really press your heart up. Collarbones opening, belly opening, knees and pelvis pressing forward. So nice. One more big breath in here. And then let's take a little roll through our torsos, coming around to whatever side speaks to you first. Really light fingers, so your body is able to be freely journeying around this big circle. Kind of like you're scraping an icing bowl. You want to get every little last bit of goodness out of this bowl. Take a chin tuck and let your head spin around the corner, a little neck stretch. And if this ever tends to make you dizzy, just keep your eyes forward. Try to stay looking at that one point forward as opposed to dropping your gaze, and that should feel a little bit better. If you happen to go all the same circular direction, try to switch it now. We're going to take 3 more big breaths in here. If you found a bit of tension in one particular spot, definitely stay, work, massage, breathe it out. And one more big, beautiful cycle of breath here. All right, my friends, lean back, let your legs stretch themselves out. If your knees got cranky in that position, give them a little rub. And we're gonna try to kneel. So if you want a soft pillow or a blanket under your knees, toes pose if possible. That means just tucking our toes, even a little pinky toe underneath there. Squeeze your knees together so we have good, strong foundation. And if you're in toes pose and you want a little more, walk your knees forward. So everyone kneeling if possible. Inhale, arms rise. Hands fall to the right side of body. Give yourself a boost. Use your body to twist. Outstretch right fingertips if it feels good. And then thread them behind your low back. Try to reach for your left ribs here. A nice stretch through the outer right shoulder. Come on back to center, arms rise. Let them fall to the left side body. Lift your body really tall, like the back ribs and ears are rising. Look over left shoulder. Sweep left arm behind you, or wrap it around your low back, whatever feels best for you. Come on back to center, and we're gonna take a big cuddly stretch of our neck. Left arm rises. Try to wrap your ear in towards your arm and then hold the whole right side of your face. So it's just a really nurturing hug. I love to put my right hand on my body or my chest like it's a big hug. Tip over to the left side. Try to keep your spine long, torso lifted. Really tip from your neck. If this is too heavy on your neck, you can do the little 2 fingers on your temple. That's much more gentle. I feel like it's so nurturing though to really hug your body in and love on your belly here. One more big breath in. Let your arms go. Tuck your chin to your chest. Try to stay really lifted in the back body, but tuck enough that you're feeling the spot in between your shoulder blades lengthening here. This is going to be our last stretch in this toes pose. If you can hold on to it, please stretch the bottom of your feet a little longer. Head rises, right arm lifts, and we're going to snuggle in. Right ear into the upper arm. Just hug your body in there. Take a hold of your left side of face or ear, and then gently drop over to the right side. If it doesn't feel like it's enough, you can use your hand to hug your body, or I like to stretch out to get a little more sensation. Left arm reaching, wiggling longer to the side wall. One more big breath in, exactly where you are. Release your hands, release your toes pose, and if your toes are feeling really sensitive, you can take them like a drum roll and tap them on the top of your mat. Bring a little life back into your toes, then sit right back where you were. Arms rise high, hips lift. We're coming into child's pose so slowly. Try to keep elbows by ears, bowing forward and down, really slow, belly in, and then we're gonna try to hover for a second when we're just an inch or so above the floor. Land, let fingers scoot forward and stretch out an extended child's pose. That's so nice. All right, let's try that again. Scoop your hands back by your waist. I like to make fists. It just feels really strong. Lift your hips and punch up through the sky. Turn palms forward, elbows stay by ears as we float slowly. Like we're not so sure we want to land. We're kind of hovering above a hot surface here. Okay, it's cool enough. Land on back down. Stretch out an extended child's. Scoop back for your next in-breath. Here come those really strong fists. Rise to the sky. Exhale, using your core. We're warming up the core here to really slowly lower. Hover if possible. Land an extended child's pose and stay here. Try to bring your knees together so your belly gets a little rolling massage. Right arm reaches to the sky. Breathe in. And breathe out. Right back up to where you were. Right arm reaches. Back to extended child. Twice more like that big reach. So it's nice if you can feel your left ribs rolling over your left thigh there. I always love that little massage. Let's try the same thing on the other side. Left arm reaches, roll right ribs over the thigh. Back to extended child's. Left arm reaches and releases. Now we're gonna flow pretty steadily through class today, but you know that if something feels great, you pause and join us when you're ready. Extended child's pose. Tuck your toes. Let's get ready to rise, but we're not gonna lift up all the way just yet. Once toes are tucked, lift your knees a tiny, tiny bit. A tiny bit more. and then rise up into downward facing dog. But we're gonna come right back to where we were, kind of like a crouch, right? Drop your knees like an inch above the floor, little crouch, and then press back up. Little crouch. Press back up, might get a few pops and cracks in your joints, just opening space there, breathing in. Finding that downward facing dog and then wiggle in your downward facing dog, unless you prefer stillness. Try to get some really big stretches, maybe side to side or alternating pedaling through feet and knees. Find lots of weight in the base of your thumb and index finger, so we're equally distributing between both hands. And when you're ready, roll forward into plank or kneeling plank, kind of like a tabletop. Roll right back to down dog. See how much movement you can get in your spine. Usually if you bend your knees, you're able to roll your spine a little more, even bend them on the way back, like you're making a cow and a cat shape. Cat as you roll forward, cow as you roll back. We're gonna try one more like that. All right, my friends, find a tabletop, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and as soon as you find it, retuck your toes and hover, turbo tabletop, hover knees, look at them, only an inch above the floor, okay? Really getting the core warmed up today. Draw big toes together so your knees are side by side. They're actually squeezing towards one another, your knees. Then lift your left heel. Uh-oh, it's hard. Squeeze it out to the side and back in. I'll show you this from the front. We're gonna use our outer thigh, squeeze left knee out to the side and back in. 3 more times, squeeze out, in, knees are still together like you have a little hinge working here. One more. Hovering tabletop, yes you can. If you absolutely need to, tap your knees down, right heel to butt. We're gonna go for 5. Ready, squeeze out, then in. Keep your knees just about an inch off the floor. We're gonna get a break, hang on in guys. Squeeze, and then squeeze, good job. Tap knees down, take a second, flip your palms over to stretch your wrists if you can, fingers facing knees. It's okay if they're facing one another, that's a bit less intense. Do what you can. Fingers are really open. Spread knees back to where you're comfy under hips and then give a little wiggle side to side. Give a little push forward and back, really trying to stretch wrists. You may even like to bend elbows and rise. Let's take one more big breath in here. Back into our tabletop. When your fists feel ready, if you need to give them a little shake, go for it, a little tiny gentle shake. And then let's rise and get our move on. All right, downward facing dog. We're gonna lift our heels and melt them back down. Both heels at the same time. Lift and melt. Twice more, big lift. And then rise and hold. Tiptoe walk the tiniest little bit in. Each little foot is like a pitter patter, but I want you to lift. Lift your femur bone up into your hip socket. Thigh up and in like you're plugging into an outlet. Up and in, up and in, up and in. Tiny little pitter patter walk, so it takes a while to get there. And then when you get to fold, deeply fold. Allow your entire crown to hang heavy. We're gonna try that again, that up and in motion, working mobility into our hip flexors. Lift your right foot just a little tiny bit, hover it off the floor, and then see if you can pull it up and down, up and down. Might not lift a lot, it might not lift at all, that's okay. You're gonna squeeze up, thigh bone drives up into your hip socket for 4. Squeeze, 2 more, and 1. Deep forward fold. Whew. Let that go. Shake your head if you found some neck tension along the way. If you shook no, finish on a big old positive yes. And let's try that on the other side when you're ready. So now the left foot, lift it straight up. Your full bottom of foot is just hovering off the floor. If possible, drop a little, rise a lot, squeeze up and in. We're gonna go for 8, squeeze up, 7, belly in here, 4 more, 3, and 1, drop into forward fold. Okay, 1 more big set of hip work. Take fingertips a little bit forward from your toes. Let's start with the right side again. Lift your toes behind you, and you can draw tiny circles back here, or you can lift as high as it makes you happy, and then draw giant, slow circles with your hips. Think about your hip socket, that ball and socket. And like we scraped our icing bowl earlier, now we want to really coat it like you're buttering a pan. Take your hip socket and lubricate all around every nook and cranny. Swap directions on those circles if you did a ton one way. Try to flare open some bright, energetic yogi toes. Did you get all the surfaces covered? One more big breath. Take a second, forward fold, deeply fold, but halfway lift here. Try to dangle your fingertips or softly rest them on your shins. Sometimes it gets a little woozy down there, doesn't it? Collect everything, cool as a cucumber again. Refold. Okay, let's move on to the left side. Hands a bit forward for balance. Left toes back, we can circle just on top of the floor. Or if you'd rather rise high, go for it. Big, slow, really beautiful circles. Thinking about your hip socket, really use your ball and socket to slowly maneuver around the whole area. Swap directions. If it feels better to bend your knee, do what feels right. Class should feel really beautiful, so we're always listening to our own bodies. Let's take 2 more big breaths in, 2 more big breaths out. Okay, ladies, release when you're done. Forward fold, take a big deep fold, a halfway lift again with a big knee bend. And then when you're ready, rise to sky slowly so you don't get dizzy. We were upside down for a long time. Everybody feel okay? All right, lift as tall as possible. Wiggle your sides a little longer. Exhale, forward fold again. Now we move. Right leg steps back. This is where we're gonna stay for a bit. So get cozy on your right knee if you need a little support or cushioning. Rise up to 2 90-degree knees. Okay, see how I lifted my hips? Not here, but all the way up here. Right arm rises, big lift. Tip over to the left side, and then stretch left fingertips down, trying to keep length in our left sides, but really tipping the corner here. Circle over to the other side. Now squeeze your inner thighs together. If you can touch the floor, great. You don't have to. Take your left arm and circle it all the way forward. Both arms back up. Left arm falls, right arm rises. Ready for that big circle? Inhale, both arms up. Right arm down, left arm circles. Inhale. Try to make it a big smooth exhalation as your fingertips fall in circle. It's one long breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, circle. Let's go one more time each side. Big breath in. Last time. Inhale, rise, and now release your hips. Let them hang. Oh, it feels so good. Melt down here. Shift your weight back so you're in half split. This is such a great place to stay, isn't it? Or you can travel with me around the corners again to the right side. Try to squeeze inner thighs together, and then travel around to the left side. If it feels good, travel right and maybe lift up through left arm. Travel to the left and lift up through your right arm. Let's try that twice more. Breathe in and breathe out. After you're finished this big tip to the left, let's come into the center, lengthen out our sides, and then come back forward. Low lunge, tuck back toes, rise back knee, and see if you can boost that leg up to step into chair pose. Sink buns down, arms rise. Stay really low in the hips as much as you can. Retest how deep your chair is. Can you take your middle fingers to the floor? Uh-oh, I've got a long reach. Sink down low. Now rise through the arms. Stay here for a minute. Not exactly a minute, just a breath, don't worry. Heels rise, squeeze up. Release. 3 more and then we'll be done. Breathe in. Twice more like that. Give a good squeeze like you're hugging onto your bones. 1 more. As soon as the heels fall forward, fold. Left knee steps back. Get cozy under that knee. You know you're gonna rise and be here for a little while, so really cushion up or roll your mat a bit. Lift your hips to 90-degree knees, and when we feel that squeeze through the inner thighs for stability, lift up through your left arm. Right arm reaches for the floor. Stay here. Tip, tip. Lengthening both sides. Swivel around the other way. Maybe left fingertips are finding the floor. That's great. It's not necessarily a goal. It's just whatever feels good for you. Now the right arm starts that big circle around. Inhale, left arm rises, and it circles around. Inhale, exhale. Whether it's a forward motion with your swimming arm or a back up to the sky motion, just getting some beautiful mobility in our shoulders, working deeper into the left hip flexor, and we stay up high like this. You can think about tucking your tailbone for a little bit more sensation, pressing forward with that front of left hip. We're gonna go for one more breath cycle. Nice, right? A little bit of hard work, but it feels good. Frame out your front foot, let your hips go, and then shift back. Here we are in that beautiful half split. Soften your right knee. You can stay right here the whole time. If you want to get a little direction move with me, squeeze inner thighs together. Walk hands over to the right, and then walk them over to the left. Feels good on the low back and the sides. If you'd like to add on a reach, when you get to the left side, your right arm would reach. Right side, the left arm would reach. Take a peek at your cute yogi toes. They want to be squared towards your hip. So if they poked in or out, you'd start stretching one side of your hamstring only. We're going to go for the whole foot with that big squared lift. One more big breath each side. All right, now if you feel a little dizzy after all that spinning around, take a second as you climb back forward to low lunge, get your head right. When it feels good, float your back leg up to chair. Okay, have a little paintbrush action for you today. Now remember, we're gonna try to get in this low chair and really work our legs. So if possible, middle fingers to the floor, rise upper body from there, but keep lower down. And watch my wrists, 2 stop signs. Then fingers up towards inner wrist to rise. I'll show you that from the side. We're gonna flatten palms, flex wrists, and then curl your wrists in. Like your fingers could touch the inner wrist. So think about paint brushes. Inhale one side of the brush. Exhale other side of the brush. Nice wrist, yes? Stay low in the legs. Squeeze your belly in. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Breathe for 3. Heels rise. 2 more. Oh. There's that element of balance. We've got this. Wiggle your toes open. Exhale, forward fold. As soon as the heels fall, lift your hips and forward fold. Take a second down there. One more big breath in, yogis. Take your right legs back as you breathe in. High lunge this time. If possible, lift both arms really high to the sky. Exhale into warrior 2. Late edge of right foot falls, but as soon as you find it, we're gonna windmill right back. Into lunge, inhale. Low lunge, push back to downward facing dog. Now, if you wanna stop in table and child's before every down dog, I encourage it. Go for it. More movement, the better, in my opinion. When you found your dog, we're gonna roll forward to that plank, making a cow shape in our back. Excuse me, a cat shape in our back. Drop knees. And melt to the earth via chaturanga. Let's get the elbows to hug our body. Collarbones open wide. And a bit more rolling. Taking your fingertips like suction cups, like little tents out to the side. Elbows rise a bit. Tuck chin to chest and lift from the back body. A little bit of push from fingertips, a lot of squeeze through back body. Press your toenails down. Throat opens as we fall. Again, making that angry cat shape. And more like a cow shape, top of head and tail lifting. Round the back, curl up, and release. One more time like that. Keep pressing big toes down, lower half cemented into the earth. Exhale, down dog, but I love a good child's pose after that. You may even want to swish your hips side to side, no rush. Find dog when you're ready. Right knee rises, a big lift, heel to butt. And then fan your hip open, but squeeze your armpits together so your chest stays squared, pressing back towards the left knee. Take a peek out under your right armpit, and then try to wave yourself under your left armpit. Can you see your foot? Move it around, roll your ankle. Hello. Come on on back to three-legged dog. Push your right knee high to sky. Let's square our hips by squeezing inner thighs and flexing feet. Our right pinky toes should be facing the floor. Crunch forward into cheetah, rounding our angry cat backs again. Land foot underneath your knee, and then step the back leg forward, but give it a little boost, and then a release, deep forward fold. Let's rise to the sky. Can you lift your heels on this journey? Somewhere. Lift them, lift them. It's so fun, isn't it? Ooh, fun and scary. Inhale, extended mountain pose with heels lifted. Try to unclench toes, free up your face, give a little jazz fingers and a little smile. And then exhale, forward fold with your heels lifted. Yes, you can. Once we've made it safely, let your heels melt back down. Left leg steps back. Let's try that whole thing again. Arms rise into high lunge. Blade edge of the left foot falls. We find a soft, gentle warrior two. Right back up to lunge. Inhale. Exhale, frame out the foot. Press back, downward facing dog or pit stops. Inhale, roll forward in your time, yogis. No rush here. Exhale, release to the earth. Now, once we get down, the same fingers, suction cuppy fingers with tented hands, yes. And then if you need to, sit up and watch me for a sec. We're gonna drop our left shoulder and look over the right elbow. And then come back to the center, dropping right shoulder, looking past the left elbow. So if we moved a little fluidly, it would look like this. And then when you get the movement down, I want you to lift up into baby cobra in between each one. Lift into baby cobra in between each shoulder drop. What are we feeling when we do this? Front of shoulders, pectoral muscles. You get a little squeeze through the shoulder blades, really awakening for the chest and back. When you're ready, join me. Suction cuppy fingers. Drop left shoulder, look over right. A baby cobra in between. Try to press your toenails down so we feel really boosted up, like we're having help from the lower half. That's anchored in as we're maneuvering the upper half. Try one more each way after this. Fingertips get tired quickly here, don't they? Try suction cupping them towards one another for wrist strength. Take a second in the middle, let your fingers be free, and push back to dog when they feel ready to move. All the movements you need to clear any energy that's no longer serving us. Left heel to butt. As we rise up into three-legged dog, we flare that hip open. Try to squeeze armpits together. Chest is square. And then peek out under your left armpit. Hello. Under your right armpit. Can you see your left foot? Give it a wiggle. Give it a circle. Give it a wave. It's okay if you can't find it. Come on back to three-legged dog. Square your hip. Push your left foot out. Squeeze inner thighs. Check your pinky toe. Cheetah. Crunch forward. Big round in your back. Land foot underneath. Lighten your right leg. Ready for the boost? Lift. Forward fold. Oh yes, we are going to balance again. Heels rise. Try to find your tall extended mountain pose, the tallest version you've got. There is no rush here, yogis. Take your time, roll up through your back. Oh, feels so good once you get there, doesn't it? Even if you have to let them drop, come back up, find it. Inhale everything up. Float back down with heels lifted. We can. Slowest person wins. We're in the most control when we're moving slowly. Stay present in your breath and in the moment. Release heels. Woo, that was nice. Okay, take a halfway lift here. Fingertips super light on shins or maybe wiggling behind us. Length from shoulders to fingertips. Release to the earth. Right leg lunges back. Adding on this time. High lunge, inhale. Windmill the arms and the right heel down when you're ready to find that soft warrior two. Checking in with shoulders, palms up, and also find your width. Heels, ankles are underneath your wrists. If we're not wide enough, wiggle out a little wider to find a low version of this. Okay, we're gonna do a little tug of war. Right arm rises, left arm is getting tugged over with that arm, like that side is winning the tug of war. Kind of finding a deep extended side angle, but we're easing into it. Feel the stretch. Release. A little in, a little out. One more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Now really find it If you absolutely need to, rest the left forearm. If you're able to, squeeze a beach ball overhead. Finding more length in our left side, try to twist right shoulder a bit behind you, looking forward or possibly past your right elbow. Take a really big breath in, you've got this. Eyes look back down. Right heel rises, finding half moon or floating half moon. So boost out of your left foot when you can. Right side body is stacking over the left. Try to get a really clean line of energy from right fingers to left. Right sole of foot is pushing super far away. And if we want to tap to the earth or a prop, we're in half moon. If left fingers are dangling above a surface, we're in floating half moon. So find what feels good for you. Eye gaze travels up to the right fingertips, especially your left eye. Are you able to use it to find your right thumb? That is really challenging. Such a good challenge for us on Friday. Eyes look back to the floor. You're rising to star pose. So your right leg is going to stay lifted. Come to standing. Create a beautiful long line. Right toes point. Left fingers reach away. From the bottom of your left foot to the top of your right finger. Star pose. Open wide. Beautiful. Flower pose. Heel to butt on the right leg. Try to grab your shin. If you can't, just keep reaching. But if you can, act as if you have petals that you could flare open. Getting safer each step of the way. Close your knees together. Hold on to your leg. Little quad stretch here. Lift up through your body and then tip over to the right side. Oh, this is nice, right? Ready for another challenge? Flip your hand from the outside to the inside, gripping the top of foot or the ankle. Reach left arm forward for counterbalance and find a dancer's. Now, if you can lift up, I want you to also kick in to your right leg as if you could straighten it. So you're really lengthening, getting pulled up and long. And then you're welcome once you find it to hinge, if that makes you feel great. Do whatever works here. One more big breath. One big knee lift, rise up through the right knee. Release into forward fold. Well done, yogis. Okay, so wherever you are, try to find the top of your mat again. And we're gonna do one more little balancing trick on this side. Let's lift our heels, rise up as we did before, but stay at the tippy top this time. Extended mountain pose. Ooh, that's tough to find. Let your toes be free and liberated. We don't want to stress out our arches and our ankles by clawing our toes into the earth. Once you've arrived, open your palms into a V, squeeze up through midline, rise heart higher to sky, and then tip back into a baby back bend here. Try to find breath. If your heels fell, it's okay. Find the upper body, the big V, baby back bend, and then lift your heels. Back to the center, eyes forward, arms straight up, melt to forward fold. Try to keep your heels lifted. We can do this. Come on, slowly and in control, using breath. Heels melt down. Take a second. Good job, guys. Woo, that's a challenge. Okay, let's go halfway lift. Just getting everything really long and ready for action. Shimmy your shoulders, wiggle your fingers. Release to fold. Big step back, left leg, soft landing. Poke back long in control here. High lunge. Warrior two. All good. Check with your shoulders. They get a little stressed when we do balance, so just let them be free and open. Eye gaze, down right fingertips. Are you wide enough? Ankles under wrists. That sounds like you're ready. Left arm rises, right arm is winning the tug of war. That right side is pulling. Oh, you're gonna fight back though. Pull, inhale, and exhale. Just kind of prepping for that extended side angle. So we're reaching. One more big reach like that. And then if you feel ready, you're gonna reach all the way out and stay. We can stay right here. Right forearm can fall if you need it, or we're gonna go for that squeeze overhead. And as soon as you find it, rotate, eye gaze up past the left elbow would be our goal. No matter where you are, try to swivel. So your right ribs are coming up towards the sky, left shoulder a bit behind you. So nice. One more big breath in this one. Eyes look down. Left heel swivels up, all the weight in your right foot to bounce you up into floating half moon or half moon. Let's think about stacking left side bodies, shoulders and hips over the right, creating beautiful long lines of energy. Right fingers to left, top of head through bottom of left foot, really flare open those yogi toes. Press out longer through your left foot and lift longer from right armpit to right hip. Take a big breath in. This is our last one. On that exhalation, look back down. Oh, guys, I forgot. I apologize. Take your eye gaze up. Look up. Try to find your left fingers with your with your right eye. And if you lose it like I did, a giggle is in order. And as soon as you get yourself back together, you try again. Eye gaze, right eye to left thumb. Now we look down and use our exhalation to rise to star. Left foot far away from the right fingertips outstretched. Connect with your breath as you elongate. Left fingers high from right foot, but then find width and length. Nice star pose. Left heel to butt, finding our flower, reaching for it. If you can't, you just keep reaching. But if you can, grab onto your shin and then spread your petals open behind you, to the side, up, forward, whatever feels really good. Knees side by side. Holding on to a big quad stretch, lift up tall. Nice break, right? Okay, let's challenge our balance again. Lean to the left. That wobble in your ankle is a beautiful thing. That's your body's stabilizers. I always give thanks for that. Coming back to center, dancer. So usually people like to flip their grip here. Always think thumbs up. You can circle up, down, and around. Thumbs up holding top of foot or ankle. If your knee hurts, then you might want to flex your foot and hold your ankle instead. Start to lift up, up, up. Kicking left leg like you're trying to straighten it. Feel that tension? That's really good length and strength being built. Lift up if possible. And if you feel like you want to tip around and kind of play a bit here, go for it. Find one more breath in whatever position you're in. Lifting both arms, left knee, lift, and then release. Oh, okay, here's that last balance challenge. Back into suspension. Arms rise, heels lift, up and overhead with eye gaze. Big V in arms. Lift your heart again, and then a little baby back bend. Try to kiss your ankles together. All the way up through your shoulder blades, everything pulling into the midline. Breath full for balance. Back to center, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, still lifted in the heels. I know you can, come on. And this time, tiptoe stand. We're coming to the earth in a second, guys. Bend your knees, heel to butt. Knees are forward. Squeeze your inner thighs. Climb up to thighs. Can you spread your arms long? Can you reach them overhead? Okay, now from here, wherever you want to reach your arms, I like to send them forward. We're gonna try to sit on our buns really soft. Let your heels melt back. It's okay if you use your hands on the floor to help you down. However you get there, make it so soft. It never happens to be so soft for me, but hopefully you're getting there. And then we're finding boat pose. Bring knees to 90 degrees. Hold the backs of your thighs and really pull your chest and navel forward. Lifting up through our backs. Okay, we're gonna play here for a bit. So squeeze inner thighs together and try to extend fingertips out. Hold this boat. You know at any time you can drop your toes, right? Or you can drop your fingertips and still try to stay really active in your chest, long in your back. But if you're ready to join me, make sure there's no flesh caught underneath your tailbone. Take palms right in front of your shins, on top of your shins, and we're gonna spin a little to the left. Keep squeezing knees together. Come back to center, spin a little to the right. Keep pressing navel and chest forward. Let's connect with breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more rounds. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good stuff, huh? Come on back to the center. One more. Into the center and hold. Extend your right leg. If possible, reach right arm out and hold on to right leg with left hand. We're gonna try to take a big twist. Lift your chest, Lift up long. Right fingertips can come to the floor if need be. Try to look right back over your right fingers if they're reached out, over your right shoulder if they're down. Come back to center. Slowly come back to that boat we started with. Left arm extends, left arm reaches out, and then right hand is going to hold on like a little lever to twist us a bit deeper. Open your yogi toes. Flutter through your left fingers. Lift chest, lift belly. One more breath here. Come forward. Last challenge, guys. Extend both legs. I'm going to turn to the side a little bit so I can still see you. Lift both legs. Swivel to the right, but now use left hand to lever you open a bit further. Belly lifted, breath strong. I like to squeeze inner thighs together here. Squeeze knees, squeeze ankles for a bit more stability. Back to the center. Hold straight legs if you need to rebend. Hold. Twist to the left. Right hand to left something. Whether it be your thigh, your knee. You could even hold the bottom of your foot if you can reach it. That is really hard. Keep squeezing legs together. One more big breath in. Into the center we go. Last breath in boat pose. Bend your toes, tap them down, and sit up. Oh my gosh, you guys, good work. Oh, poor backs. Cross your legs, lift up. Let's lift out of our low back so we really strengthen the core there. Float forward like a cow, and then come on up into angry cat as you rise. Give yourself some spinal articulations, possibly using knees to press and pull. Maybe fingertips to earth, whatever feels good to get rid of that tension. One more big roll. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's try a big twist here. Check to see that your left leg is closest to your body and your right leg is either in front, or if you want to lean back and place it on top. And then if your legs are poking to the sky, put lots of supports under them so they feel supported and grounded. Scoot your buns, or maybe lift each cheek and draw it a little bit further away from your knee. Nice stretch, right? We're gonna come all the way back up, and like we just did in boat, make a prayer here at your heart. We're gonna twist over to the right side as far as you can. That feels good. Breathe in, and then twist all the way over to the left side. Inhale. Now, while you're sitting in either your cross-legged or your modified half lotus position, continue to press down into the earth. You're using that to help you lift in your torso, lift in your crown. When you get back over to the right side, you're either staying in this prayer up top, or if you can connect, I don't want you to grab and force. See if you can twist, and if you can connect your left elbow with your right knee, take a second here. Press palms really strong so the sternum twists towards our thumbs. Eye gaze up past the right elbow, or if you're upright and twisted, just look over your right shoulder. Notice what happens to your breath when we begin to twist. Just observe, no judgment there. And then see if you can weave your breath like you would weave a basket all through those twisted up, constricted areas. Oh, come on back into the center. Let's lift, twist over, and just do a few of these to loosen up. Back in the center. Keep pushing palms really strong. And one more. Okay, release, guys. Lean back. See if your legs can uncross themselves. Help them if they're a little stuck. Oh, that was nice, right? And then reach your legs out and give just a little shimmy. It's fun to do that with your voice. Okay, let's do the other side. You ready? Right leg in close, left leg either in front, or if you lean back and you want to cross it on the top, cool. Supported under everything that's poking up. Scoot both buns back so you're long, and then lift up really tall. Let's go like walk like an Egyptian. That's what I always think of, that old, like, I don't even know, MTV video, I guess. Twist over to the left side. Twist over to the right. Use your breath here. Inhale, belly in. Exhale. Just gonna go for one more rotation. Again, trying to warm up, trying to give ourselves a little bit extra, so we're never forcing, we're inviting, we're offering, maybe staying up top on the left. Or if you think you can lift and twist a little further, right elbow may connect. If it does, push strong through palms so that your sternum, your heart, twists up towards your thumbs. Eye gaze swiveling past the left arm in some way. Let's take 2 more big breaths in here, but we're unclenching, relaxing the hinge of our jaws, softening our eyes, our brows, and our foreheads. Rise when you're ready, or untwist if you were already lifted, and then just do a couple more rotations. Ooh, gosh, that's nice. Good, really freeing to do this at the end, isn't it? Breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, let your fingers fall. Lean back and ask your body what it needs. It might need a little windshield wipe or a shimmy, may even need a good massage, especially for your knees. When you're ready, both knees rise again. They fall to the left. We want about 2 90-degree bends in our knees here for modified pigeon. So we're gonna lift our chests and spin over navel towards left thigh, and then try to walk out as far as you can. Really go forward. The heavier we can get in our torso, the more release we'll get in our lower half. And we need a modified pigeon. Right leg bent to 90 degrees because we're gonna do a little more of that external rotation from earlier. Flex your right foot, and then watch, it's gonna lift. Think about internally rotating your ball in its socket, turn in, and then slow release. Let's try that again 4 more times. Squeeze up, release. You can come as deeply into your modified pigeon as you'd like while you do this. If you wanna stretch all the way out. Squeeze. And release. 1 more for good measure, why not? Squeeze and release. Let the left forearm or left hand, if you're up high, stay. We're gonna take a hold of the top of our foot and stretch out through the quad. You might wanna lift your knee, kind of hover it off the mat. See where you get the best stretch. It's nice to try all of the things, just being experimental and exploratory, because whatever happened in the past may not be true for today's practice. So it's nice to give everything an option. Does it feel good? If it doesn't, make a change. Love that quad stretch. Oh, so hard, but it's like hurts so good, kind of. You get that pulling sensation. It's so nice. Breathe into it. Let it go slowly right back to where you were. Climb up. This is a bit funky. We're gonna straighten out our left leg. If this is too much for your right knee, the option would be to pull it in. Then we do that like seated tree that we've done before, okay? But we're gonna make it a little weird today. Try to keep that 90-degree right knee. As you straighten your left, let's lift our chest, turn again over the thigh, and then walk out or reach out, whatever you can do to get really long, and then see if you can surrender to this stretch. Those soft things you had under your knees in lunge earlier, you may wanna put those under your belly and really cuddle up here. Try closing your eyes, immersing yourself in your breath, tucking your chin. Give your nervous system the signal that it's okay, let go. And stay here, my friends, or if you want to try something a little different, we're going to lift up and then we're going to come back. So if this is not okay for your outer hip, don't do it. You listen to your bodies. You might come back a little bit with soft elbows, may come back all the way onto forearms. If you're on forearms, this is cool. Your shoulders make this great little like pillow back there. They kind of squish your flesh together and you can drop your head back and it feels so cozy. Try that one if you want. Take as much time as you really enjoy in this stretch. If you did drop your head back, definitely connect chin with chest again before we move. Come on up here. And then it might be a doozy getting out of here, feeling all the things, right? So how does it feel right for you to release? Listening to your body again, we're just gonna kind of move around, maybe a bit of a rock and a roll. Might need a little flutter for your legs. Anything that you do should be really soothing and therapeutic. If you need a little rub, take it. In your time, come on over here. We're gonna go 2 90-degree bends and our knees are facing the right side this time. Swish navel around the corner so you can crawl out a little bit or a whole bunch into your modified pigeon and just relax. Flexing strong in our left feet. That knee is 90 degrees. And then we're gonna start to squeeze up, lifting through the outer leg, and think about what your hip socket is doing. That little ball is rolling in and then rolling back out. I just love to see like how that happens. Visualize it so you can really get the most out of it. Breathe into it. Softly landing if possible. And remember, you're welcome to stretch out as far as it feels good for you. Just hanging heavy in the upper body, relaxing through the lower. Let's let our leg totally rest for a sec. Stay as low as you want. Right forearm or hand is going to stay down as left heel comes into the butt. We're reaching for it. If we can't reach it, we just go as low as we can. Keep squeezing. Someday we'll grab it. And if possible, you do have that quad stretch, heel to butt going on, you can move around. Explore maybe reaching into a little back bend or hovering left knee. Seeing if it feels better if you rise. Taking another big breath in here. And if this quad stretch is too good to pass up, I really want you to stay. I encourage you to stay longer whenever you can. Release that down. Climb back to seated. So remember what our option would be next. If we straighten our right leg and it feels funky with a 90-degree left knee, then I want you to instead draw your left knee into your chest, straighten your right leg, and make that seated tree position. See that? And then we'll fold forward and lean back from here. But if you can, 90-degree left knee, get cushioning under your ankle or your knee, wherever you need it. Swivel right, and then reach up and land. If you can, you don't have to land. You can just keep on reaching. That feels so good. Making sure our right toes are squared towards our hips for a full left to right stretch on the back of the right leg. Take a moment to really drop in, yogis. Drop chin to chest. Find a deep, beautiful breath. Notice sensations if your belly is near your thigh or if your belly is resting on your forearms. Feel the ebb and flow. Feel the rise and fall. Soften any lines that don't need a squeeze. Soften the hinge of your jaw, the touch of your fingertips. When you're ready to rise, lift up, and then make any adjustments necessary. You may not be able to do the same thing you did on the other side, so just approach slowly, kind of ease in. Fingers behind us, or maybe we drop to forearms. Funky, huh? Once you're there, try to squeeze your shoulder blades back. If you're on your forearms, you would do this, like you got that little pillow back there, and rest your head back. Take one more big breath in wherever you are. And on that exhalation, begin to release, lifting up anything that you need for this leg, whether you just want to like hug it in and massage your knee, whether you want to roll around, flutter your knees in a bound angle, anything goes. Once all your stretches make your hips feel great and you feel pretty cool and chill, we're going to lie on back. Let's try to do it really slowly though. So scoot your flesh out of the way from under tailbone and sits bones. Hug onto back of thighs and round your back really big, angry cat style. Plug big toes into the earth. Reach fingertips to toes and start to roll back one vertebrae at a time. Let's see if we can go so slowly. And when it gets really hard, that's where I want you to grip onto your core even more. Try to lay down one tiny bit of your spine at a time. When you've arrived, you deserve a big old good morning stretch. Reach toes far away from fingers. Try to go in opposite directions. Right toes and left fingers reach out. Left toes and right fingers. Wrap yourself up into a little tiny ball. Massage your spine, knees together as you roll around on your low back. Make your knees big and wide. Bring them into your armpits and then rock and roll. Back feels good here, right? Really wide and soft. Roll down to the edge of your tailbone. Roll up to your shoulder blades, making some circles. Draw knees back together, both toes to the sky, and let's grab onto something on the backs of our legs to really draw them in. Still pressing tip of tailbone down as you do, and shoulders relax heavily into the mat. Send the right leg down to hover and touch your nose up towards your left knee. Soften your shoulders here. We're gonna finish with a little Pilates, single leg stretches. So we're gonna hug this leg in and then slowly scissor to do the same thing on the other side. Now just pause for a sec, a little longer on the first one. Send the toes out really wide. And then start to switch at your breath's pleasure. So we're just gonna breathe in and breathe out. Scissor your legs as it feels good for you. I like to give a little double pull. So when I get my left leg in, I'm gonna go pull, pull, and then right leg, we go pull, pull. Like for a little extra stretch is so nice. Bright, open yogi toes. Rest your head if your neck ever gets too tired. We're gonna go for 4 more like this. Just a tiny bit of core work. I know we already did boats earlier, but our core is gonna be feeling really good this weekend. Last one each way. Okay, yogis, one last little exercise here. Hug into a tiny little ball. Literally hug. If you can hold on to your heels or your shins, hug your nose in really big. And then swim everything out long, hovering, heels and hands overhead, double leg stretch. Exhale, rise, little ball. Inhale, lengthen, double leg stretch. Let's go for 6 more. Squeeze up and in. Keep your low back into the mat as you reach long overhead. Toes higher if the low back starts to arch. Exhale. Inhale. 4 more. Try to make this as slow and as strong as you possibly can. Now, if you can, don't hold on for these last 2. Reach in that little ball, but reach past the tips of your toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach past the tips of your toes. Inhale, lengthen. Hold your double leg stretch for 4. Belly in, breath strong. 2 and 1. Release. Heels and feet flat on floor. Arms overhead or down by your sides, wherever it feels really good. Give your knees a swish to one side. Swish them to the other. Once your legs are good, keep them still and look your eye gaze over your left shoulder. Stretch out your neck. Steeple your knees together, widen your feet to spread your back again. Eyes to center, eyes look over right shoulder, stretch out your neck. Eyes to center. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. I'm gonna keep you here today. Don't move, stay right where you are. I would love for you, we have like 1.5 minutes left together. I would love for you if you have an extra 3 to 5 breaths or an extra 3 to 5 minutes in your schedule today. Really try to stay, not just chilling for a second, that's good too, but try to soak up the benefits of your practice, marinate, think about what felt good, where you created space, where you felt a little bit stronger or a bit more open, where you could flood breath in easier. And if you do have to get ready to go, you're gonna roll over to one side, fetal position, kind of cradle your head for a minute. Take a moment of gratitude in whatever position you're finishing class in today. Moment of gratitude that we're here, we're alive, we're breathing, we're blessed with this beautiful, beautiful day, and the ability to move and breathe and have one another. This connection is so important to me. I love seeing you. And if you've rolled back up to seated and you'd like to take a little prayer with me, just a nice gesture, a sign of gratitude for our bodies. Try to connect your thumbs with your heartbeat. Maybe your heart lifts a little higher to find it, and chin drops towards fingertips. I'd like to leave you this weekend with the Buddhist loving kindness mantra. We're going to say it to ourselves. So instead of me talking to you, I want you to try to repeat it mentally or even out loud. Feel free to say it out loud. You're all on mute. May I be filled with loving kindness towards myself. May I be healthy in mind and in body. May I be safe from internal and external harm. May I be happy and at peace within myself. Yogis, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're able to face everything that comes your way today and until we meet again with strength, integrity, and a gentle heart. The light in me is so inspired by, grateful for, humbled by, and sees the light that is each and every one of you. Namaste, yogis.